We like to talk with artists here on WNCW about their creative process, and I think one of the reasons why I like to ask is because I know there are a lot of musicians listening that are becoming songwriters themselves, and they want to kind of get feedback from others like yourself about how it's done or what the process is like. And without divulging all of your secrets, I know you've written about the creative process, and I think you wrote that for you anyway, there's not a whole lot of that instant gratification of like, boom, here's a song that came down from on high, and then it's all there, and it just sort of happened in one glorious swoop. That you write about. There's like a thunderclap of an idea that I want to write a song, and that's maybe 1%, but then you work at it, and it becomes 2%, and then maybe that becomes 5%, and then finally you've got it, but it's more of a delayed gratification that really is quite satisfying in the long run.
Well, it has its pluses and minuses, I suppose, but that is the way it works for me, and it is interesting that no way I've ever heard other people talking about how they do it is the way I do it.
Really?
Well, I mean, it's all the same thing. I think it's a collection and then building it into something. It seems unlikely to me that I'm going to get 3 or 4 minutes of full-on inspired music. It's more like I get 5 seconds or that line or the Stark Raving Sober, for example. And then it's like, oh, I heard somebody say that somewhere. And then I was like, oh, that's something worth writing down. And I wrote it down. And then eventually you build a little story over it, out of it. And for me, it is a lot more just sitting down and doing it and applying myself and putting the time on the calendar to do it than oh, wow, this big magic thing just showed up.
Yeah. It's funny you mentioned something that maybe lasts about 3 or 4 minutes, because that's the name of a song of yours. Was that on purpose?
Yeah,
that was good.
Well, yeah.
and that was on one of WNCW's Crowd Around the Mic collections from a year or
that's
so
great
ago.
that got included on there. That's fantastic.
Well, we thank you for that, and our members that got that Crowd Around the Mic, thank you for that, of course. And so is your songwriting process, you've been doing it for, this is your 6th album, right? Tinderbox is number 6.
It's number 6.
So it's been a few years now since you've been starting the songwriting. Do you write differently now than you did in those first couple of years?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think as I've moved more and more towards doing it as my main thing, I write more. I mean, I try to produce more. I just try to treat it like more what I do than as my main thing than a hobby. And my day job's a hobby.
Oh, that's a good way to look at it.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. So you can give up your day job or not. It's just a hobby.
I just have just
for fun.
Something I enjoy doing for 8 or 10 hours a day.
We're talking with Aaron Burdett here live on WNCW. He's here with his band, and they are playing tomorrow night at the ISIS Restaurant and Music Hall in West Asheville. The showtime is at 9 o'clock, and it's the big album release show for big number 6, the album Tinderbox.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
All right, let's hear another tune.
All right. I think we'll play Old Oak Table. Takes it all in with a knife that was trained to make the most of every piece and carve it into anything he needs. Chisel flash, wood chips fly. The man works through the night. Wheat from the chaff, meat from the fat. Everything extra falls away, and then a new table stands in the morning light. I'm not looking back on what used to be. Nothing left to be learned from yesterday. All because what it was is over, and it's all gone like dry oak. Up in flames, up in flames, up in flames. She and I years ago at a yard sale, side of the road, bought that table for a song. Took it home and it wasn't long before started a family of our own. Across that old oak table, I watched our children grow, and over time I watched her smile grow cold. When the kids were gone, so was she, and I was all alone. I'm not looking back on what used to be. Nothing left to be learned from yesterday. All because what it was is over and it's all gone like dry oak. Up in flames. Up in flames. Up in flames. I know there's an untold story behind everything we can see. Every form builds up and holds its own set of memories. Dragged out back and thrown down tonight. A little kerosene will do it good. For years this table served my family. Now it's good for nothing but burning wood. Burning wood. Burning wood. What starts whole breaks down, comes crashing to the ground. Parts from the whole out of control become debris. No one needs useful, baby, to a more forgiving man than me. Tables turn, trees are felled, families fade and go to hell. What once was now is not. People leaving wood, it rots, and all that's left of it now is at my feet burning hot.